Good afternoon, everybody. I am making my first ever YouTube video. Just wanted to film my 2024 Honda Talon 1000X-4 that I purchased a few weeks ago and kind of go over some of the accessories that I installed and reach out to some of you in the comments to kind of see what else you think, based on experience, is out there and can be done. I have some ideas. There's obviously quite a bit more that I still want to do to this machine, but I want to get everybody's feedback on it. So like I said, it's a 2024. I have not done rims and tires yet. As you can see, you still have the stock Hot Wheels on there. I am looking at a set of System 3 SB5 bead locks with the blue beadlock rim with 31-inch carnivore Maxxis carnivores. It'll be a 15 by 10 rim on the 31-inch tire. I'm looking at a set of 5. That way I have a spare with rear 1.5-inch rear wheel spacers to bring those out level with the front. That's what I'm thinking. Let me know in the comments if that's a good option. Everything I've read seems to be a good option, but let me know your thoughts. But we'll just start with the factory items that I had Honda do. I had them put the rock sliders on factory. I also had them put aftermarket skid plates underneath that are double the thickness of the OEM. We also did the front A-arm guards as well as the rear arms and the springs. I did not do the rear arm protectors, as I plan on changing those out to an arched design, give me more clearance back there. I also had, and I can show you that in a little bit, but I had the dealer also install the OEM bus bar and fuse box. Again, this is my first side-by-side, my first foray into this segment of machine. Kind of learning as I go, so I really didn't want to mess with any of that. So I just had them go ahead and do it. I know there's a lot cheaper options out there, maybe even more robust, but I can swap it out at a later date for something different if I need. I did go with the Kemimoto fender extensions. These are not the, in my opinion, cheaper, thinner, floppier fender extensions. These are actually quite robust, pretty much the same material as the stock fender. Got the bracket right here to hold it in place in the rear, but I think that's going to provide a lot of extra protection, mudslinging and what have you. Same as up here, solid, doesn't flop around like the other ones do that I've seen a lot of people get, and in my opinion they look a lot better. They look more factory, they look more form-fitting in my opinion. So Kemimoto fender extensions. I also went with and when I get into the hood with the bus bar and stuff, I went with a Kemimoto mud guard for the firewall back there as well. Went with the, I hope I'm pronouncing this right, Shijisi foldable mirrors, as well as the same brand, the 15-inch rear view mirror, I believe. Went with those. Went with the Rough Country 40-inch light bar. Very, very bright. I think it's almost 40,000 lumens. Went with the Spike Power Sports 3-position windshield. Now I did purchase a Super ATV flip-up windshield. However, they do not describe in their description that windshield does not fit with a light bar on these. If you can see, there's not enough room. That windshield needs to slide further up into here, and it does not fit unless you put the light bar on the roof, which I didn't want to do. So I ended up taking it back and went with this option here instead. Now this does not flip all the way up, but it's a 3-position and it gives plenty of venting. So give me a second. It's a lot easier when you're sitting inside and have free hands to do this. It's definitely not difficult by any stretch. Apologies. Okay, you get the idea. Let me just pull it up. That's the stage 1. And then that's the second. So again, plenty of venting. There. Plenty of airflow. I actually quite prefer this one over the Super ATV. You don't have that half windshield down here that kind of folds in and comes out and takes up some of your dash space. So I do like this one. It does seal nice and tight. Let me know your thoughts on that as well. I went with the Pro Armor 2-inch 4-point harnesses. Very comfortable. Nice thick padding. Does have the metal clasps with the leather backing to prevent pinching. Very nice harnesses. Now another thing on these, in the description, it states that it can use factory hardware. I don't know about other year models, but the factory hardware did not work on this. So I found hardware from Rad UTV, just the bolts. Purchased those. I believe they're $10 a set for 4 of them. So I bought 2 sets of those. Went together just fine. I decided to go with the Noam Quad S5 speaker system, 4 speakers with a 10-inch woofer. That's where I decided to mount my woofer. Now that can hang vertically as well, but it would obstruct my rear view. So I put it up like there. I will tell you, all the reviews I read and videos I've seen on this sound system were all positive, and they were right. I mean, I've had this thing cranked to max level, and it is clear, crystal clear, no distortion. I have the volume from the amp into the speakers turned down a little bit to get a little more bass. I could turn it down more if I wanted to be able to turn the volume up higher to get even more bass. But it sounds great. Bass is good, crystal clear speakers. I couldn't be happier with it. And for the price of just under $1,000, you can't really beat it compared to some of the other things that are out there. I'll do another video showing the sound system and what it sounds like. All right, moving on. I did the aux beam 3-inch pods in the rear. Again, very bright. It comes with the amber lenses if I wanted to change those out for more dusty conditions. I went with the Oh Hey dust screen. So I had purchased a windshield for the rear. However, with this sound system, you can kind of see how it extends out past my cage. So a windshield was not going to work. So in searching for alternate options, I come across these guys on Amazon. All this stuff I've purchased on Amazon for the most part. But I went with the thin blue line. They've got all kinds of designs, pre-made designs. You can have them design your own for an upcharge, or you can buy just a regular black base windscreen for a downcharge. I think this was 150 bucks, but it allows great airflow. You can see out through the back, no problem. No problem whatsoever with your vision. But really like the windscreen. Right now, and you guys can leave comments with some ideas for here. So I was going to get a whole cooler to fill up the back, kind of like this one is. This is only temporary. I've just got her strapped down in there, but she's tight. She's not moving, going anywhere. And this will work for now, but I think I want half cooler and obviously half toolbox or utility box, right? Because I'm going to need to carry some things with me. And storage on all side-by-sides is not the greatest. So that's what I'm rolling with right now, and it'll work for now. I did buy a dirt road fabrication bed extender, and I'll try and maybe cut some pictures of some of this stuff in the video for you. But it's going to extend the bed out about 12 inches, and then it also has a tailgate that'll open up. I got mine with the rear tire, spare tire carrier on it, as well as a Rotopax mount. I don't know that I'm going to use the Rotopax mount. I'm actually thinking about getting the larger gas tank. I think this one's 7 gallons or 8 gallons, and I found an 11-gallon one for around $400 that I might just bite the bullet and install that instead. But we'll see. Coming around, I did, and again on Amazon you can find rocker switches. I just went with blue light customizable ones. Got my music, my light bar, my rear lights, and my rock lights, and then 2 USB chargers on the right. I do have the plate right here. You can see the holes drilled out. I just kept it out for now until I do install more accessories and have a need for it. But I do have another switch plate right there to go in with 4 or 5 more spots for rocker switches. I was able to mount my NOAM controller right here. So I just took a hole drill, 2.5 inch, drilled that out. It has a nut on the back of it. Just tighten it down. I mean, it's not moving or going anywhere. It's in there really well, and it's a kind of fits too. It's a perfect spot for it. Let's see here. I am looking at a different roof. So my garage isn't the tallest, and this, while the roof looks good to me, I want to put with the bigger tires. That right there messes with me. Takes a lot of clearance away from me. So I am looking at the aluminum super ATV roof that I'll probably purchase and install, and that's going to give me about another 4, maybe even 5 inches of clearance in the rear of the vehicle, right? They do that. So if you want to trailer it backwards, it doesn't rip the roof off. It's a good idea, but I don't think I'll ever trailer it backwards. So I just load it straight into the trailer and go. Let me see here, what else? Lights, rock lights. So I just went with, where is it? TDE Explorer lighting. I bought the 10 pod pack. I've got 1 under each wheel. So there's 4. I've got 1 in the center. Each side, that's 6. I wanted to really mount one above the engine, but there's really no good place to mount it except for right above the exhaust, and I didn't want that type of heat exposure to the light. So I ended up mounting 1 in here kind of as a dome light. I put 1 under this footwell, passenger, and 1 under the driver footwell, and then another 1 here in the front. So 10 altogether. Looks really good. You can separate 2 bands. You could do 1 side color or flashing, whatever you want to do it, and then the other one can do its own thing as well, or you can have them all do the same thing. Pretty sturdy built, nice aluminum, so I hope they last. Again, obviously you can see I haven't even had this thing out yet. I'm anxious to get her dirty and beat the hell out of her. I'm trying to think if there's, I wrote down a bunch of stuff here. I'm trying to think of what else I did. So the rocker switches I chose were the O'Kearneys. I do have a winch. So this is another thing I maybe need some help from you guys on. So I bought the Badlands Apex 5500 with a synthetic rope. I also purchased the wireless remote for it. Now the issue is finding a mounting plate, right? So all these things are vehicle specific. So I've got to find a good mounting plate that's going to mount that to my frame up here. So I'm looking, and if you guys have any ideas, again, please feel free to let me know. I think that's about it right now. I've thought about tunes. I've been looking at a custom exhaust. I forget right now offhand the brand, but it's a dual exhaust. You can get them blacked out, as they call them, and blue, so to match, and then everything will be powder coated black, and it's a full exhaust system. And then I was going to do a tune with it, a Hess tune, just to give a couple more ponies better. Maybe not a Hess tune. I was going to go with the what's the Florida Cracker something, Florida Cracker something, but they do custom tunes for 150 bucks if you have a Dynajet, and I was going to go there. Give me different shift patterns, a higher rev limit, lower the engine cooling temperature for the fan to kick on, and then the exhaust. So I thought about turbo, but I don't want to put a turbo on this without completely rebuilding the engine internals. I've seen some horror stories on people who thought it was good, and then they come to find out they're breaking pistons and rods and all kind of stuff in there, and then next thing you know, they're having to buy a completely new engine. So maybe in time I'll turbo it, but not until I'm ready to rebuild the engine internals. So we'll go in here. So again, the bus bar is up under there. I'm not going to take all that off, but the OEM fuse block, and then you can see this Kemimoto mud guard to protect the firewall. Now obviously water's still going to get in there, but it's going to block a lot, especially a lot more than the stock, right? The stock was just a little flap in the center. This actually covers the whole thing. It was only like 10 or 15 bucks, well worth it in my opinion. Also, I'm reaching out to you guys again in the community. I need to put a dual battery setup on this, but where? My bus bar or my fuse box takes up the spot where people normally put the battery, the second battery. So any thoughts or ideas on that would be greatly appreciated. But outside of that, guys, that's it. I believe that's everything. I am looking forward to your comments, your suggestions. Please feel free. Let me know what you've done, what's worked, what hasn't worked. I'm trying to do as much as I can right the first time. And again, this is all just a lot of review, knowledge from reviews, just research. I do have a large group of friends down here in Kentucky that do these, the mudding life, wheeling, side by side, whatever you want to call it. So taking some pointers from them as well. But mostly it's just been me researching things and kind of seeing what I like and what's best, but I don't really have a basis, right, for comparison. So, all right, guys, I appreciate it, and again, I look forward to any comments or suggestions that you guys have. Have a good day.